Well, welcome back to Cadwell Park. Still a bit of downtime going on here whilst things get back on schedule, and whilst we have a bit of time in hand, let's take a look at a very special rider indeed, a man who races in the Superstock 1000 class. His name is Murray Hambro.
Everybody who comes to race at Cadwell has the mountain to climb, but compared to this guy, not so much really. Murray, tell us your story.
Well, basically, 9th of December 2010, I was on tour out in Afghanistan, and I was a vehicle commander on a Warthog. My vehicle triggered an IED, and which then propelled me 40 feet in the air. And the result of which, I broke most of the bones in my feet, and then the end result was that I had my feet amputated. At the time, one of the team members, Nick, he was there, and he basically done all the first aid on me, and got me back to Bastion, so then I was safe to come back to the UK, so that's my hero.
And how do you go from that to racing at BSB level on motorcycles?
Well, basically, I've been riding from a young age, but on the roads, never really racing.
And I believe you were told by your rehab people to get another hobby?
Yeah, well, my consultant at the time asked me what my interest was, and when I told him I love motorbikes and ride motorbikes, he basically shrugged his shoulders and said to me, you want to find yourself another hobby. At that point, I went skipping down to local Triumph dealers and bought myself a Daytona. So,
Just talk us to the bike, because you're not just riding a bike, you're racing a bike in the Triumph Triple Challenge, and I'm guessing that is gear shift, up and down?
Yeah, we've got the gear shift on the button,
yep.
And then underneath we've got the rear thumb brake.
Thumb brake, yep.
And just to keep my right foot in place, we've got a stud on the foot peg that keeps my toes back. Because I have to support myself on the grid, I can't do it with my left foot, so I sort of sacrifice left-hand corners a little bit.
And you end up sacrificing quite a few left boots, don't you, because it ends up scraping on the floor a bit?
Yeah, but within a 20-minute session yesterday, I literally went for a brand new set of sliders all the way down to the boot, so it's getting expensive. And
I know this is a real team effort because we've got 2 ex-Army and 2 ex-Navy. And is he a prima donna to work with now? Is he a top bike racer?
Yeah, I got to him. He has, from the army days of just being typical squaddy, and now he's like ordering us about and sort of telling us to do this and do that. But he's not too bad, I suppose.
But you do well. You don't all the sponsorship you've got, your own work. You go out and do your own thing, and it's a real team effort. I know from seeing your work, and you all seem to enjoy it. Like you think you would ex-military. It's kind of next kind of thing. It's similar type of thing, isn't it, running a team?
Well, that's what we love about the concept of the team. The injured guys working alongside with the able-bodied guys.
Yep.
And being all military, straight away the team gelled and we got along really well. And yeah, like you say, we rely on the corporate sponsorship, so we won't go to the charities. We built it from the foundations, and we're really proud of what we're doing.
What you need is to team up with a rider who scrapes his right boot, and then you're good to go, aren't you? Yeah. I tell you what, I used to think I was a little bit brave, but now I'm not so sure.
Well, here he is. That is Murray Hambro out there. What an amazing story for him. Let's get on then with this race. Go straight over to our commentators, James Whittam, who sits alongside Jack Bernicle.
The standings in the Triumph Triple Challenge Championship of 2013. It's headed by Chrissy Rouse on 126 points because the point scores were halved after Alton Park, which of course severed the young Geordie man's lead. So he decided he'd need to go out and win a race yesterday here at Cadwell Park, which he did. So he added to his victories at Thruxton, at Alton Park, at Snetterton and at Brands Hatch Grand Prix, and won yesterday. So even with the halved points, he maintains a 46-point advantage over South African Philip Atkinson, who is level with Freddie Pett, the winner of the opening 2 races in the Brands Hatch Indy Circuit, and 5 points ahead of the 3rd place man yesterday, Alex Alicia of Spain, who is just ahead of the man who starts on pole position, and that's Charlie King. Just turned 17 on the 2nd of August. Charlie, the young man from Galston, just outside Great Yarmouth, on the Pressure Integrity Racing team. He starts from pole position after that fastest lap yesterday. Stratstone Racing's Chrissy Rouse, the championship leader, is 2nd. Tom Ward Racing's Tom Ward is 3rd on the grid. 2nd row headed by M40 Triumph Dales Racing's Freddie Pett, from BCN Racing's Alex Alicia, and Qingdao WK Bikes Pure Triumph Philip Atkinson. 3rd row of the grid, Tom Oliver Racing, Tom Oliver. And then T3 Racing's Luke Shelley ahead of SP Racing's Scott Pitchers. And on the 4th row of the grid, Littlewood Racing's Dan Hellier ahead of Jesse James Jones Racing's Jesse Jones. And then the Motorcycle Sport and Leisure magazine backed Ben Miller, number 78. On the grid then, look at the intent there from the just turned 17-year-old, number 76, Charlie King. Can he get the start he wants? It didn't look like he got such a good drive initially, and Chrissy Rouse might emerge at the front on the pale blue Stratton Racing bike, but he doesn't. One of the white bikes launches through, I think, from the 2nd row of the grid, and that might have been number 91, the Spaniard, Alex Alicia, who made the start. I think it is. Alicia leads it on the BCN Racing bike ahead of Chrissy Rouse, and then that bright yellow Pressure Integrity Racing Triumph Daytona of Charlie King. So leading into Park Corner at the moment, Chrissy Rouse, that distinctive sky blue machine, very appropriate beneath an absolutely cloudless sky here in the Lincolnshire Wolds today. And he's running in 2nd place. Look at that huge crew of riders, 33 of them pouring through Charlie's. And down the hill, the lead has been taken now by Chrissy Rouse. And look at the pressure being put on by Charlie King. He's looking for that 2nd place, the tall East Anglian from Great Yarmouth.
Oh, not so easy on the first lap to get 35 riders through that little chicane, I've got to say.
And Chrissy Rouse looking thoroughly determined already as the Geordie student, A-level student, launches across the mountaintop. He leads the way through Hall Bends. And a good start also for Philip Atkinson, a veteran of this class. They're running there, I think, in 3rd place. Look at this, steady on, boys. Charlie King went very deep in at the head, and it cost him.
Well. Yep.
He's going to lose 3rd place, I think, and it is number 121, I beg his pardon. It's Tom Ward who launches through. Tom Ward, number 121, gets the better briefly of Charlie King, who swoops back round the outside, and then Ward gets mugged as he goes into the uphill left-hander by Freddie Pett.
And then gets back in front of Freddie Pett. All change here in this Triumph Triple Challenge.
Hellier, Jones, Tom Oliver, Luke Shelley, Scott Pitchers, Ben Miller are the top 12 ahead of Terence Skinner, Middlemass and Cox, and rounding out that top 15. But at the front at the moment, a handy advantage for Chrissy Rouse, but the man in 2nd place will be looking to try and run him down. I beg your pardon, the man in 3rd place, Charlie King, there he is. He's got Alicia ahead of him and Chrissy Rouse in the lead. So quite a lot of work for Charlie King to do.
Pett and Atkinson still at each other's throats. Going at the end of the straight there, swapping places.
As they go through Mansfield and into the chicane. The battle closing up now for the podium spots, because number 91, Alex Alicia, finds himself under a little bit of pressure now from the aggressive number 76, Charlie King. Oh, King is very conservative across. I say he's aggressive, and then he just sits her down over the mountaintop, Jen.
Yeah, and the funny thing is about King, he's actually, Charlie King, the yellow bike there, number 76, he's actually the least aggressive person in the world when you meet him in the paddock, and it always amazes me that sometimes that's the case. You know, you get these meek and mild and kind of very polite lads that won't say boo to a goose in the paddock. They get on the bike and they turn into a different person altogether when the visor's down.
Charlie King there then running in 3rd place behind Chrissy Rouse and Alicia, with Tom Ward, Freddie Pett, Philip Atkinson, Dan Hellier all lining up behind him, trying to get in the push for a rostrum finish. And they've closed the gap slightly. Fastest man on that lap, 1:33.329. It's nothing like the speed of yesterday. I don't know whether the extra heat has anything to do with that, but Charlie King set a new lap record yesterday of 1:32.977. The only man who's ever got one of the triumphs in this series round here at under 1:33. He's not going quite that pace, because Chrissy Rouse at the front with a 1:33.329. There he is, number 55, leads the way downhill to Mansfield.
Yeah, it was certainly a little bit cooler, track temperature anyway, because there wasn't as much direct sunlight on it. And it's the sunlight directly on the track that warms it up. If there's a little bit of cloud at all, even if the ambient temperature isn't much different, the track temperature depends more on sunlight than it does on actual ambient temperature of the day.
Well, we've certainly got plenty of sunshine.
Yep,
You just have to step out there now, and it's absolutely... It's kind of it's that sort of stuff that instantly make you feel the burn on your skin when you get out under it. I reckon there'll be a fair few pink people out there by the time today is ended. And now right on the back wheel of the Spaniard is Charlie King and Tom Ward and Freddie Pett. Not to mention Philip Atkinson on that distinctive South African helmet. Or rather, underneath that distinctive South African helmet. And Dan Hellier running behind them, of course, has also enjoyed some success during the course of this championship. He had 3 successive second places, 2 at Snetterton, 1 at the Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit. So Rouse, Alicia, King, Ward, Pett, Atkinson are the top 6. They've broken clear a bit of Jesse James Jones, Dan Hellier and Tom Oliver.
Watch out for Charlie King. He did have a little bit of a think about it. He came from way back into Park Corner, looking up the inside of our Leicester.
Just checking about the back down.
Oh, big crash, sorry, Jack. 2 riders clipped just going into Chris's curve. I'm sure he clipped the...
That's not Atkinson. I don't know who's gone down there. It might be, is it Pett? Anyway. And it's Dan Hellier who's gone down. Oh, commentators, curse Dan. I just told you how well you've been doing by claiming 3 successive second places.
Pushing really hard. I think he clipped the back of Jones. You just watch this. Watch the back of the shot, look. Oh, no, he actually got sat up.
He got taken out, really. Blooming proper. I think that was that Tom Oliver, number 2, who came right up underneath him there.
He'd been done by both.
Swiped him.
Yeah, it was Hellier and Oliver that kind of had a go at him there. He just got... Yeah, completely shoved wide. That's not a good place to do it either. It's only when you hit the floor there that you realise how fast you're going. That'd be probably about a 90-mile-an-hour get-off.
So Chrissy Rouse is still in the lead. Alicia has responded to Charlie King's pressure and opened up a bit of a gap. Then we've got Ward, Pett, Atkinson, Jones and Oliver, the men who combined to see off the luckless Dan Hellier. That's number 37, Jesse James Jones from Basildon. So they certainly did gang up on the unfortunate Dan Hellier then. Chrissy Rouse still looking, well, comfortable at the front. He's running the same pace as the guys behind him.
King.
That was a long run, a long drive in from Charlie King. He leaves the door open on the way to Chris Curve.
Yeah, you know, I said he came from way back into Park the lap before, and he's very strong. Oh, that's a good move there up the inside at Chris's. It's going to push him wide of the gooseneck. That should work, though.
Charlie King then dropping downhill. Good move from the young fella from just outside Great Yarmouth. He now grabs back the advantage in second place. But look at this pressure now from the white motorcycle of Alex Alicia from Tom Ward, number 121.
Yeah, a couple of really unusual moves there from Charlie King to get past Alicia. Odd places, but I think he was getting a little bit frustrated, but he's really strong into Park at the end of the straight. He wasn't relying on a faster bike to get him level and then just nipping past on the brakes. He was coming from a long way back.
So Charlie King now leads this group of 5 in the chase of number 55, Chrissy Rouse.
Well,
and now Philip Atkinson makes progress. He's got the better of, is that Freddie Pett with the, or is it Ward with the, it's Ward with the bright orange helmet. So here comes Alex Alicia, the lighter, smaller man, makes a move up the inside, but doesn't quite work. And a problem there. He had been shedding places, and suddenly there is a problem for Tom Ward, number 121. And he moves offline and puts up his arm to let the opposition know that there's something up with his motorcycle. That's number 121, Tom Ward, on the Tom Ward Racing Tribe from Canterbury in Kent.
Yeah, did the right thing getting off track. You don't know, that's a mechanical that's fairly, I would say, terminal. You don't know the oil's coming out, fluids coming out, or anything else. You know, you need to get off that track. I'm
not entirely surprised that the incident involving Dan Hellier, Jesse James Jones, and number 2, Tom Oliver at Chris Curve is under investigation.
That isn't a surprise, is it? It was a fairly harsh move by the 2 of them.
It was a bit of a gang-up, wasn't it? And there's some lovely, besides the gentleman that you interviewed, Jay, there's some great characters out in this. You know, there's a 6'6" postman called Gary Beardsley, affectionately known as Big Gaz, riding number 88. He's down in 21st place. He has to have elbow scrapers because he can't help but get his elbows down. He's even taller than Connor Cummins, he told me proudly.
All right.
A few places behind him in 24th place there's a quiet 17-year-old Scotsman called Russell Brown. And he's come down from just south of Glasgow on the train with his mum, and then met his dad here with the gubbins necessary to go racing. So there's some entertaining and unlikely characters out in this competition. It's a good one. Chrissy Rouse leads it. He's one of the entertaining and unlikely ones. And then in second place, that battle between Charlie King. This is Suffolk versus Spain. And then Freddie Pett and Phil Atkinson.
I was going to say that when Charlie King, the man on the yellow bike there, front of that group, got to the front of the group and got a bit of clear space going forward to the race leader Rouse, if he could put anything like the times he did yesterday, he could actually have caught Rouse, but it's Rouse that's responded, just sticking the fastest lap of this racing.
So 133.109, very, very close to making himself a sub-133 second man on that lap. And that more positions being swapped as the guys swap paid work, dropping down. This is the battle for 7th place, involving Jesse James Jones, Luke Shelley, Scott Pitchers, Ben Miller, Sam Middlemass, Sam Cox. They're all in there. Don't be deceived by the Kawasaki green. They're all on Triumph 675 triples as they drop down the hill. They're all looking for ways to get through. 2 moves at once made down into Mansfield, cutting up the inside, or rather down the inside. Oh, and then another move made into the chicane. That one was quickly responded to.
That was kind of the end of the same move, that, Jack.
It was, yes. Just so number 89, Shelley, has got back in front of number 111, Pitchers, I think. Chrissy Rouse at the front.
Tidy little rider, Chrissy Rouse.
Just going to say he's got a lovely start.
He has, yeah.
And he's, you know, he's smiling, happy lad. He's enjoying life, enjoying doing his A-levels.
And that's it, 32.8. I think that would be a new lap record, I think.
It would indeed. 132.872, a new lap record for Chrissy Rouse, the championship and race leader. As number 71, Kieran Newman, enters the pits. There's the new lap record confirmed for Chrissy Rouse, who's really on the gas now on the 8th of 10 laps.
And that's the race leader passing Murray Ambro.
And as he flings it right through that right hand, you see from that high position what a long, almost double apex curve Chris Curve is, James.
Yeah, yeah.
An odd kind of structure. The wonderful thing about this circuit is that there aren't any kind of consistent radii bends at all.
No, it's a very natural circuit. There's nothing that feels like when you ride it, it's been laid out on a kind of drawing board. Ooh. That's a Spanish rider.
Oh, and he grabbed it back well from that moment, didn't he? I thought that Freddie Pett would have him then.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel like it's been laid out on a drawing board with a protractor. You know, it's not. A lot of the modern circuits, and I won't mention them, mostly abroad, I have to say, just here we go again. This is Alistair's moment out. Oh, there you go. Gets the throttle squeezed open coming out of Mansfield and lets the back let's go.
Jesse James Jones has retired to the pit, so well, I suppose he was going to be under investigation anyway, so he's probably thought, oh, what the heck, I'll pull out now.
Yeah, he talked about Cadwell. A lot of the modern circuits feel like they've just had the most corners squeezed into the smallest amount of real estate they could buy, with all the corners, constant radius of varying radiuses. This, you've got a bit of everything, camber and radius-wise. This always felt like to me like you got one of them big tarmac laying machines and set a drunk man away on it. just see where he came back.
And here's the result. Yeah. Well, don't forget, back in 1926, Mansfield Wilkinson bought this land for hunting and shooting, really. But his son, Charlie Wilkinson, Charlie was a little more modern in his ambitions, and he formed the Loutham District Motorcycle Club and persuaded his dad to let him run the first meeting in 1934. And
I can just remember Charlie Wilkinson being here on my early days of racing and watching in the late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah, he used to run this place single-handed.
Correct. He took the money going in, and he served sandwiches, and he never let go of the reins, didn't Charlie?
I mean, set it all in motion in 1934. Phenomenal. On the 9th lap, out of 10 then, and Chrissy Rouse in the lead. Number 76 there, Charlie King second. 91, Alex Alucia has bing somehow, despite his moments, persistently fending off number 66, Freddie Pett. And that man, number 3, Philip Atkinson, the South African, on the Qingdao WK bikes and Pure Triumph 675. And behind them, Tom Oliver, Luke Shelley, Scott Pitchers, Sam Middlemass and Ben Miller rounding out the top 10. Gary Beasley's up to 18th place. He must have heard me telling you how he scrapes his elbows because he's such an astonishingly tall lad.
Somebody probably threatened him with a dog round the back somewhere. They don't like dogs, don't Postman. We've had a sticker on our door a couple of times.
And Gary Beasley, the 25-year-old from Chesterfield, then the colossally tall Postman, now almost on the edge of the points. Chrissy Rouse leads it. Charlie King still holding rein in second place, and then we're looking back through the mid-pack. You can see there's a fair few scraps still going on. We're on the final lap, and there's still 1 or 2 positions to be decided yet. Breaking into Park Corner. One thing I was really impressed by when I popped outside to watch these guys rolling into pit lane before the race, James, the high quality of turnout of the bikes. There's beautiful fairing designs and colours and finishes. Yeah,
and that's pretty much constant throughout all classes at British Championship. BSB now, there's a lot of well turned out bikes, really is.
So flat stick along the base there of the mountain, and then flick it left, and then the drive up that steep face. There's Chrissy Rouse. He is on his way to victory yet again in this class, which would make it, I could have told you if I hadn't lost the sheet, his 8th win of the season. Chrissy Rouse then, the Geordie boy, does it once again for the Stratstone Racing team. He takes the double win here at Cadwell Park, increases in lead in the championship. Charlie King takes a brilliant second place. Alex Alicia hangs on for another podium finish. The Spaniard nicking it from Freddie Pett and Philip Atkinson. Tom Oliver crosses the line in 6th place, now ahead of Luke Shelley, who does get the better of Scott Pitchers, and then that battle behind them involving Sam Middlemass. Cox gets the better of Miller and just pushes him out of the top 10 in the run into the line in front of Tom Haywood and Terence Skinner gets the better of Haywood in their last lap battle. But a great ride by Chrissy Rouse. He is proving the dominator of this championship this year. Chrissy Rouse takes it for Stratton Racing Triumph. Oh, we've got a faller.
Yeah, that's just before the hairpin.
Just
on the last lap. There was a few riders together. There might be more than one involved, I think. There is 2 bikes involved.
This is what...
This has got to be in the back of
the... Oh, dear me. That was a bit violent.
And I heard James Hayden say it earlier, but there used to be absolutely no runoff there about 3 or 4 years ago. That would have been not so good.
Unfortunately, he was able to, obviously, adrenaline flowing and fury rising. He was able to leap to his feet and gesticulate with the offender. So, Chrissy Rouse from Emmanuel College, Gateshead, studying A-level maths with mechanics, physics and economics, has done a really economical job here. He's started from the front row, he's set a new lap record, and he's won it for Stratstone Racing to take his 8th victory of the season in the glorious sunny setting of the Lincolnshire Wolds. Chrissy Rouse in first place. Charlie King, an excellent second. Alex Alicia in third. Freddie Pett 4th ahead of Philip Atkinson. Tom Oliver, well, still under a little investigation in 6th place ahead of Scott Pitchers, Luke Shelley, Sam Middlemass and Sam Cox. And behind them, the rest of the point scorers, Ben Miller, Terence Skinner, Tom Haywood, Dan Fuller and Gary Beasley, the 6'6" plus postman, makes it into the top 15 from way back in 24th, 25th place. Great ride by him ahead of Taylor, Wood, Corbino, Burdett and Little. The championship standings will make comfortable reading for Chrissy Rouse in the Triumph Triple Challenge. A 2/3 season's distance. He has 151 points, the only man in 3 figures. Freddie Pett is second on 93. Charlie King leaps up to third on 91.5. Just a 0.5 of a point ahead of Alicia and Atkinson. And Dan Hellier is in 6th ahead of Scott Pitchers in 7th. Tom Oliver moves 8th ahead of Jesse James Jones, who pulled out of that race. Sam Cox in 10th. 11th place Dan Fuller ahead of Luke Shelley and Tom Haywood. Middlemass in 14th place, Corbino 15th. And the rest of the top 20, Taylor, Little, Alistair Fagan, Ben Miller and Piers Hutchins. This is how the race unfolded. A little sluggish start there for the man on pole position. Great start for the man from the second row, Alex Alicia of Spain. He swoops through to grab the initial advantage from Chrissy Rouse on the pale blue Stratton racing bike, with Charlie King's yellow Pressure Integrity Racing Triumph in third place. As they spread out coming out of Charlie's and head down the laughingly named Park Straight. Here we go. 33 riders on the starting grid, and at the front, Alicia making initially a bit of ground. And then that move, driving down into the gooseneck. Great move by Chrissy Rouse, forces the gap that he needed to take the lead from the Spaniard, who starts to come under pressure from Suffolk's very own Charlie King. And then we have a fall as Dan Hellier gets forced out, really, by Tom Oliver and Jesse James Jones. Left with absolutely nowhere to go. The former second-place finisher goes out. Chrissy Rouse, though, is really in control of this race, looking very, very comfortable as he just pops down through the dappled sunshine, through to Barn, via the hairpin and Hall bends, and swoops out onto the start and finish straight. Great ride by the Geordie boy. He takes victory. Charlie King in second place. Alex Alicia just hangs on to third ahead of Freddie Pett and South Africa's Philip Atkinson.
Well, we're here with Alex Alicia. We were just talking before you came to us then about a big problem that's hit you, Alex, and it's the dreaded arm pump at Cadwell Park.
Yeah, I suffered arm pump since the fifth lap, and I'm just struggling to follow Chrissy. But then Charlie passed me and I tried to follow him with the same problem all again, but very happy to be at the podium. Not expected this, because this is the most British circuit track. So very happy to be up here.
And what do you think to this most British circuit?
It's very fun to ride, and the jam is crazy.
Really, you like it?
Yeah, I love it very much.
Excellent. We like watching you race. Very well done.
Thank you very much.
We'll let you go to the podium. Well done, Alex. Alex Alicia there. Our third place finisher. Our second place man was Charlie King. Well, listen, in terms of the overall championship, you now elevated above Alex. It's just half a point, but hey, half a point's half a point.
Oh, yeah, after the start yesterday we had, it was a bit of a nightmare. I was chasing Chrissy and I wanted to win so bad. And unfortunately, just pushing a bit too hard, I lost it and caused another crash there. But it's a points consolidation today. I lost half a finger basically yesterday, and the top half of my finger, it's just so painful how I physically done that then. I just can't believe how we managed to pull through. Everyone who rebuilt the bike overnight, everyone, I just can't thank everyone enough.
It seems incredible when you talk about your hand injury to then think of what you put it through here at Cadwell Park. It's not an easy day, is it?
No, it's just the pain I was riding through then for both my knees, everything. I can't believe what I've just done there. I'm physically shattered and I just can't believe we've managed to pull through.
Well, what you need is a nice rest with maybe a bit of champagne to cool down in this heat. We'll let you go to the podium. Well done.
Thank you, Tony, and cheers to everyone's help this year. Appreciate it.
Nicely done, Charlie. Charlie King there, our second place finisher. Let's listen to our race winner then, Chrissy Rouse. Well, listen, 151 points overall now. You've got a big lead over Freddie. Freddie's on 93, 8th win of the season, double win here. It doesn't get much better, does it?
Yeah, it's been going really well recently. Apart from when I ran out of fuel at Snettered, and we've finished every race on the podium, and yeah, 8 wins so far. So couldn't really ask for much more. And I hope it keeps going through to Donington and have a good finish to the season.
It certainly looks like it could go that way for you. But talk about Cadwell Park here. What have been the main things you've had to overcome this weekend?
Just the fierce competition, really. I mean, me and Charlie had a fantastic battle yesterday. And credit to him for just even getting out and riding in that race. I seen a picture of his finger this morning, and it's absolutely disgusting. Like, he was telling us about in the med centre that they like chopped a chunk out of his finger, and just like a chunk of flesh. Like, I'm absolutely amazed he's been able to get out there and race. And you know, I was watching my pit board, and he wasn't going slow. I'd see 76 behind us, and but I managed to just push on and control the race, and just delighted to take another win.
Chrissy, it's a delight to see you developing as a race. A delight to see you on the podium. We'll let you go there now. Well done.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Nicely done. So Chris Rouse will now go up to the podium. Time for Jack then to take us through all the champagne spraying proceedings.
That was a very nice touch there, Chrissy Rouse, remembering the late Ben Gautry, who died here in an accident a couple of years ago. And he steps up onto the podium to enjoy and celebrate his 8th victory here of the season. A kid who started road riding bikes when he was 7, that was 10 years ago, with a Malaguti, and he raced motocross actually for a couple of years on a Suzuki RM65 till it was nicked together with all his gear, and that was when he was prompted to try road racing on a Metrokit 70, and he entered the Fab Racing Metrokit British Championship and gradually got a little more confident and faster doing that. And he eventually moved up to the British 125 GP Championship, initially with SGR Racing, then with the vastly experienced former champion Steve Patrickson. And learned, he said he learned a huge amount that year, managed a few top 10 finishes, a best result of 6th. And then he entered the Triumph Young Guns in 2011 and was chosen as one of the 10 finalists, and it's been all onwards and upwards since then. Second place for Charlie King. That's a remarkable performance for Charlie, because he's really, for him to get out there at all after that accident yesterday was quite something. He'd set the lap record, of course, pressing so hard before he fell. That lap record has now been eclipsed by this young man, Chrissy Rouse. Charlie King, of course, is on top of the rostrum for the Cup competitors. A good ride by him. He's tell you what, the hand's still working quite well. He managed to get the cork out of the champagne. Blimmin' heck. Right, you've got to come back out now, Charlie, and do it all again. Guy Masters of Triumph is presenting the trophies to the boys. Charlie King will be back out there in a moment alongside